It just reminds me that you're not here with me, Des. That's all.
I know, Tim. Have you found someone else to replace me and give you a cuddle tonight in bed?
Couldn't be done. Could not be done. Heading into this one then, we're going to be going to Oregon. We've got Team Secret versus Rogue, and the bans start to head in. It's going to be Thatcher taken away to begin with, and then Rogue having a little bit more of a think, but landing on the Finker.
Indeed. We spoke about a Finker ban earlier on against Shaiko, specifically in the BDS versus G2 game. It carries across a large number of teams. You just want to take that operator away from the entry fraggers. Makes him a little bit less spiky. The nades, the Gon 6, the LMG, the team-wide heal. It is just incredibly oppressive, so not at all surprised to see it gone. Thatcher and Kai go together like bread and butter. You often see those two bans coming away in the same moment. Interestingly, for the second time today, Mira's going to get left open on Oregon, which makes the downstairs quite a fortress to break into, to be honest, and the Valkyrie being gone at least reduces the roam potential. But I think here on the basement side, you should see some Mira coming out, especially knowing that on maps like Skyscraper, when we've seen Secret play it, they did enjoy running things like the Mira. But although having said that, for now at least, maybe it looks at least like they won't bring it along, so maybe that's a Skyscraper special.
The bans are getting more and more sort of open lately. It's something I've commented on once or twice. And we were at a point where they were sort of first introduced, 18 months, 2 years ago, whenever it was. They were quite repetitive at times because, you wanted to take your Thatcher out, everything. Whereas we've seen Thatcher played twice tonight. And it's not uncommon now that there's more options. You got Finker coming into the mix, but that means then that maybe Knock is available and is going to be picked up by Cryan in this first round. And we get into that point where there's maybe 3 or 4 like really high profile bans that you want both on attack and defense, and it means that these operators are slipping through.
It's interesting because I think I mentioned this in our cast last week. Super, who I know absolutely loves co-streaming EU, said it's really weird that in Europe, Knock is left unbanned and then not played by some teams. A lot of NA teams, because they are quite structured, they rely on the intel game. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a pretty key element of Siege. And Knock just completely evades all of that, does away with it, and can really be a thorn in some team's side. So I'm glad that Rogue, I think not just this week, but also last week, have employed the Knock where possible. And here we get to see what damage Cryan gets to do. He has been a real threat on vertical nades. Not going to be so prevalent on this site at least, but maybe for a drop coming down through E-Box, for example, in tandem with the Ying, a few nades being tossed down, that's kind of their go-to entry.
Kanto and Spoit moving in very quickly from the small tower side of things there. Sleben giving away his position. Kanto was unsure whether there was one insecurity or not, but Sleben took a couple of shots from the top of Freezer stairs. I don't know if it was a drone or something across the way that he saw, but it did give away his position and just made Kanto, I think, a little bit more confident as to which side of the corridor the man was lurking on. Savage is going to get his way back up these rear stage stairs and look to potentially hassle the player playing into meeting, which is Spoit. He's made it all the way through kitchen, green corridor, and he's looking to pressure onto that rear stage area. And right now, Rogue are making pretty quick progress at getting themselves set up.
It's a classic thing, right? When you're playing upon big tower stairs as the defender, you're poking your head halfway up because you want to clear off any drones that are coming through. It's literally 3 drone kills for you to then get 1 or 2, fall back towards site. Don't stick too long, else you'll get naded. You'll get someone swinging onto you if they know you're still there trying to get cheeky for drone kills. So Savage has done the right thing, poked his head up, couple of shots to come out to try and find a drone or 2, and then gone straight back down into basement. Got rid of a drone and also slowed Spoit down on the other side. So kind of 2 for the price of 1 there. Although now, as you say, Rogue have got quite a bit of momentum and moving pretty quickly here, and already are starting to gear up for what looks to be a 3-point push, Tim.
Certainly does, and those are the kind that we like to see on this site. Get somebody pressuring from Laundry, working through Freezer, a little bit of rear stage as well, and just really make it difficult for the defenders to focus on any 1 or 2 locations because you just have them spinning on their heels the whole way around. We just had Leon 30 seconds or so ago showing us why Hibana is so powerful on the hatches, going and clearing all 3 of them out within about 15 seconds. So that's the verticality sorted for Rogue. The only thing they're missing here, Des, is a kill. They haven't managed to find anybody yet. In fact, they're going to lose somebody. Saves is going to pick up Spoit on the rear stage stairs. Kanto finds Savage. Saves gets himself another before being traded out. It's back and forth. It's 3 versus 3. But Rogue are now in a position. They've got Deepek inside of the bunker. They've got 1 at rear stage stairs, and they've got the knock of Cryan on Laundry. So this is going to be a tough 20 seconds now for Team Secret to try to hold on. Leon, he's just pushing his way in. He knows there's potentially one inside a freezer. The kill is put down before he manages to get there. The last was at elbow. I think Deepak just couldn't find the man. He was in behind the... He's there! You just see him off to the left. He finds the kill. And Rogue, in the final 15 seconds, they take round one.
It's the kind of thing, and I hate harping on the same team here, but it's something we were talking about in the G2 BDS game where in a couple of G2's executes, they were kind of going in 3 or 4 seconds apart. At the time, I said they're trying to do what Rogue often do, but not quite doing it on the same level of coordination. I feel in that attack there, in that 3 versus 3 at the end, and arguably even before it, you saw that coordination come out. There was a trade for a trade around Pillar. In the 3 versus 3, Cryan came moving in on the south side, got himself a couple. At the same time, Leon was coming down highway, Deepak was coming down elbow. They were all making moves at the same time. Now, if Cryan had gone down inside of Supply and Laundry, for example, down towards the south...
we saw that they were going to be picking down in Laundry, which does look like it is the case. It looks like that's going to stick for Team Secret. So opting to go back to the same site, obviously thinking they got to the 3v3, they were close, they could have got it done. I'm loving the full synergy across the board as well, Des. All team members on the same page.
I think it was Spear Gaming in APAC North who were playing against Sandbox, and they set all of their backgrounds to be Sandbox's backgrounds. It was really cute and actually quite endearing.
We don't have any such quite that level of respect inside of EU, I don't think. Everybody happy to support their own and happy to come out and look to get those wins. Now then, Sabin, he's going to place the Banshee just inside, so he's expecting the pressure to come into bunker again. That was the case last time around. It was Deepak on the Ying who pushed in there towards the end of the round. This time, not going to be bringing the Ying along. I was going to say bringing the Flores along, but that switch is going to be opted away from. Going to stick with the Zofia. That could well still do the same job as the Flores, but the Flores just sort of screamed to me that it was potentially going to be a bunker's take, because you would use the Rotero drone to get in, clear out the shield, clear out the ADS, and force the player out of elbow. As I say, Zofia can do the same job effectively. You've just got to make sure that you burn any ADSs or magnets that are in that position. It's going to be magnets in this case, but they're rushing, Des.
Nina, straight down through Laundry. 3 of them already in sight here, but this is one of the new electric trains, Tim. It's silent. They've got no idea they're even in here, and they
don't know. They don't know.
Caught on with their pants down. There's like 3 or 4 off site. A great opener coming in from Kendrew, and the plant didn't actually get stuck there. Leon pulled off for a second to look for a trade. Why, oh why would you cancel? They were so close to getting it down. A couple of kills coming back in, but I really feel like Rogue have been the masters of their own demise here. It started so well, but they just pulled off that plant. They got a little bit too, I don't know, hopeful they could get trades back on the other side, and fair enough, Secret have reconvened back on site and said, oh my god, there's some squatters in our property, get them the hell out of here. Deepak left alive with 2 minutes on the clock. Not the kind of thing I thought I found myself ever saying, but this 1 versus 4, Tim, it's not looking good.
Not at all. Team Secret just going to hold their positions now. No utility has been cleared realistically. Deepak's going to have to play into the full defensive setup. They know exactly where he is. They're trying to peek him out from highway. He's just hoping to get himself a cheap kill here and bring it back to 1v3 and then try to rotate around. He gets one, but he doesn't. He gets the down and Sleben peeks out. It's well worked from Team Secret. They know exactly what's going on there. We'll just wait for the challenge onto 1 and the second man will move in and get the kill. So well played from Team Secret. Des, I've got to be with you there. I don't want to be overly critical. It's easy for us to say, but nobody was moving to impact on that plant at that time. I think there was about a second and a half left on the timer. There was one in Freezer who eventually killed Leon, but I'm not sure that they realised Leon was there and planting at that moment. When we go back and watch this, as we will do in future, we may realise that it just wouldn't have been possible. Maybe Leon was going to lose his life, but it feels like there was a real opportunity to stick that. And then even if Leon does lose his life, you've got 3 players who just can hold on to it from Hatch, hold on to it from bottom Laundry stairs. You know, it becomes winnable then.
It's a shame because there was so much to talk about in terms of the lineups and those teams. Like you mentioned, the Flores being changed away. That's because they saw the Mute and the Mozzie being picked in by Secret. They didn't have that in the prior round. Instead, previously, they were turning to things like having a Jaeger, so a second ADS plus a Warden to deal with any would-be Ying executes. And I think Rogue spotted that and said, right, okay, forget about the go-to plan of the Flores here. Let's not be stubborn and try and make our plan work into a very good setup coming from them. Let's try something a little bit different. But given their lineup, I don't think they intended that to be a rush. That was entirely on the fly, getting the drones in, identifying, oh, there's a massive space inside of sight. No one's here, boys. They're off site. Let's make the play happen. And I love that kind of on-the-fly decision-making. So I'm not 100% sure who made the call. You listen back to one of their comms videos that they released the other day of their game against G2. You can hear there's a lot of team-based calling coming in, although Leon often is the driving force, saying, well done, boys, keep it up, so on and so forth. But a good team call either way, no doubt, coming from one person spotting an opportunity and the whole team saying, yeah, we're in, let's go for it.
There's really interesting Banshee placement all the way down in the basement here. Obviously, Team Secret are defending the top floor. They're defending dorms, but if you pop all the way down to Freezer, you're going to see that Banshee underneath there. Just looking, obviously, to maybe provide a bit of information if players are down there. Secret don't have anybody playing in the basement at the minute, but what it will tell them is if somebody's trying to move around underneath them, they'll get that call, that sort of bit of intel that's, you know, the sound cue is going to tell them that there's somebody moving underneath. So they need to be careful for nades. Yep. They maybe need to head down there and make a challenge. It's just a really fascinating way of doing it.
Well, think about how it normally works, right? Often what you'll do as the defenders is have someone playing at the bottom of Big Tower, and they'll be looking to come up the stairs and threaten anyone trying to take at it. If you have that Banshee there and someone comes crawling up to you towards Freezer, which is normally the go-to angle someone will go from, they'll come in showers and work their way across. You just get an early kind of warning system there going off saying, hey, someone's coming in behind you, keep an eye out. So it was a smart play, but ultimately Secret realizing actually they're not attacking this way, or we just simply can't get this off this time. Let's change things around a little bit. And that change proves to be massive. A couple of kills already flying through for Secret.
Kendra and Savage, it is who find them. One apiece. We're going to have the Kiba barricade put back in place after Spoit had got rid of the last with his Gon 6. It does allow him a little bit of an angle into sight. He's going to creep around, see if he can find any additional, and then he chooses to take the 3 melee hits and get it cleared out. But as we have seen all night long, the Kiba barricade is then replaced by another, and it is just burning time, burning time, and burning time. Now then, Spoit, he can push forward at this point, finds the army. That's going to be the first kill for Rogue. It gets them moving. That saves down. He's looking to free up this diffuser. It's smart play from Spice as he tries to increase that distance between him and Kendra. He knows that it's the shotgun player playing on that breach, but it doesn't matter because Kendra is able to close it down and he's able to find that kill. 35 seconds and Rogue, they're in trouble.
I've seen some ludicrously long shotgun kills before, and that one does not surprise me in the slightest. Some we've seen like around pillar, all the way up, halfway up tower stairs, for example, and a shotgun kill does the full damage. So at that kind of range, no matter what Spoit does, he's pretty sure to be dead. Deepek, he loves a couple of toe shots coming in here. Down goes Keenan and starts to bring things back. The problem is, Rogue are in a 2 versus 3. That clock's in the last 10 seconds, Tim. They might find themselves a freebie, but they've got to somehow find 2 more in the space of 6 seconds. That'll make a plant happen, and that is nowhere to be found. They have no idea where the man is. He's sat in the back corner. He's got himself a freebie. Secret win by the clock, and Rogue fall apart towards the end.
Too much for Rogue to do there, and I think, you know, the way that Team Secret won that round, I really like it. They just played the diffuser. They played the objective. They got that down on the ground when Kendra made that first challenge, and from there on, I've got the case. I'm just going to play it. I've got the case, I've got the shotgun, and I've got a close, nice, tight angle. There is nobody who is going to be able to challenge me at such a range. Even though Spoit tried, there's nobody can create such range that the shotgun is not going to be a one-shot down at the least. So well played by Kendra and well played by Team Secret to hold on to that one and use that diffuser in their possession to maximum effect. This time, we're going to be heading to their third choice defensive site. They find themselves 2-1 up on the board, and it's going to be Meeting and Kitchen.
This begs that question now. Do Rogue go with what every other team does when they see this site? They bring along the Ossa. It has felt like since Stage 2 has started, we haven't seen too much Ossa being employed, like once or twice by G2, I want to say, but not to any great lengths that teams have made it a staple in their lineups. On this site, it is so common to see a massive focus inside the big tower stairs to get the double wall opened up. That's why there's a bandit being brought along by Keenan, for example, and your entire focus goes on that north side. But no change to any shield or operator. They've only got the one hard breach on side as well. This is potentially quite risky for Rogue. It just screams to me we don't want to go and try and focus on that meeting stage wall. Either we're going towards kitchen, which they might be given. There are 2 of them spawning out towards shower side, and Spoit, he's already in like Thunder Tim. We're in 20 seconds in the round, and he's already pushed his way up towards Zulu with a drone at his feet.
I've spoken about this before. Obviously, the risk and reward of droning and how aggressive you're playing is determined by the distance of your fragger from the drone. And in this case, we can see that Spite is probably about 10 feet away from it. So that is super aggressive, but it's also high risk, high reward. You go in there and you are reacting to red hot, brand new information, but at the same time, you are having to react very, very quickly. Spite doesn't manage to find Sleben inside of Domes there with the nade that goes in, but he does have himself established on White Stairs. He's a little bit concerned about the potential push from security, and this is the other element of risk when you are hot droning in that way. You can leave other things in your wake, and that can be a problem.
They are just waiting for this one man to come pushing out of Attic, but they can't seem to get him yet. And now they're all really trying to pincer in. Spoit at the top of White. Deepek holding on the rotate. It's a freebie onto Savage, and that's the kill they were looking for. They've now got that vertical control, so if they want to start focusing on Kitchen, that's great. But I really feel like you've got to get that player out of security at this point. Spite finding a second as here came a new challenger in the form of Sleben. Turns out it wasn't a particularly great one. A 4 versus 2 for Rogue, and it looks to be like it might be equalizing things up all square at 2-2 if this round carries on this way.
Yep, Rogue doing much better on the attack this round, just managing to get in and win those gunfights. That's really been the key for them, has just been getting that man advantage and then using it. The 2 kills particularly to take top floor control. They've created space, they've got map control, they can now think about getting in and getting the diffuser down. Keenan's on half health nearly with the bandits, so he's not going to be too hot in any head-to-head fight. And then you've got Kendra, who's limited by the fact that he's got the shotgun. Kanto manages to find the kill from above, and that's that vertical presence really taking its toll now on Team Secret. Diffuser going down, and it's time for Keenan to try and produce some magic.
Gonna try and work his way behind them here as well. Oh, as the ceiling gets opened up, but Kanto, the Angel of Death from above, 2 big kills on the vertical, finds both, gets the easy close out for Rogue. Again, that one I think really came on the back of that top floor control. Secret staging 2 players upstairs, and despite getting that opener onto Crime, removing the threat of the Nook, just could not hold onto that top floor. 2 kills up there, 2 kills from Kanto through the floor itself. A little bit too comfortable it feels for Rogue there as well, who were, I want to say, challenged, but not impeded in their plan.
Going to be round number 5 then, as the defensive half for Team Secret is rattling by at this point. They're going to get themselves back down into Laundry. I'm a little bit concerned for the Miades. Rogue take the last round. If we look at Laundry, on paper, it's a 50-50 site so far. They've played it twice, won one, lost one. But the one that Team Secret won has been around whereby Rogue didn't really play it properly. Like you said, I say properly as in proper siege, you know, covering angles, getting map control, clearing utility. Rogue saw an opportunity and they took it, which is, you know, absolutely fine. It didn't quite work out for them, no problem. But they were very, very good in the first round that they attacked this site, and Team Secret didn't really have too much of a chance on that one. So I'm a little bit concerned for them here. They didn't have too much of a choice. They could have gone to dining kitchen, they could have tried meeting kitchen again, or they go down to basement and go to laundry. But it feels to me like it's like we have to go there. You know, if we want to change things up, that we sort of have to go there, but I'm not sure.
I feel like Deepek here was maybe wanting to try and cut someone off straight away inside of either Big Tower or out towards Attic. When I saw it was, I want to say it was Savage running around the top floor. I was like, oh no, they found him. Because the changeovers coming in was the Amaru coming in, which just screams, I want inside the building quick, and I want to try and cut someone out. Either they're expecting someone on the side of Secret to rotate up through here quite soon. There we go. They found the man beautifully. Wonderful stuff. Again, just a really good read on drones. Oh, there's a guy on top floor. Attic is open. Chances are he is not going to try and run down White Stairs and go through Freezer. No, he'll run down through Big Tower and join it with his teammate on the middle floor in saves and get back down into the basement. Just, again, a really smart read by Rogue. Now, that's 2 rounds in this game we've seen that.
Absolutely love that from Rogue, showing us a great use of Amaru there. It's not always about going straight into sight and getting a couple of kills. Like you say, sometimes it's just having that speed, that ability to get into a position that the defenders will not expect you to be able to get to so quickly. And that is it. There wasn't even a challenge. Savage had absolutely no idea that there was somebody in T3. It was a freebie all day long, and well played Rogue, recognising that and taking advantage of it. The clearance continues here as Leon will work through those hatches once again, get all 3 open, and the push can continue. We're going to see pressure into Freezer, and I imagine we will have some rear stage presence. I'm not sure if they're going to push Deepek out to bunker again or not. It certainly looks like he's heading in that direction now, so very similar push to the one that we saw last time.
Just scary how Rogue is so often over these roamers like a rash, right? I imagine like no other team it can be against the team and just think, I'm in danger the whole time you're on the roam. That's how it feels against Rogue. They are just that razor sharp. And here they've got this big focus now coming down onto the site. I love kind of, by the way, the intent that got orchestrated by their repicks. They looked across towards a Ying. Okay, now actually they've got Jaeger and Wamai. Let's try something else. Oh, we found someone out on the roam. Let's try and pinch on them, which is why the Amari makes sense. And now Cryon, who's started to warm his way back into things again now, sad 2-2 in this round, is not going to be the entry death coming through. I know he's had a couple of those so far. Sport's coming in for the swing, finds a second. Secret got absolutely no idea that he was going to come charging down Big Tower and gets himself a couple of freebies. Keenan may well just be the third part of his collection here. If he has any idea, Spoit is just too good. A 3k to end the round, and Rogue moves to 3-2.
A 3k to take the third round for Rogue. And like I said, coming into that one, I was a little bit concerned for Team Secret because Rogue attacked it so well last time around. In the 5 versus 3, saves at Pillar was absolutely critical to stay alive. And the next kill that comes in, it's Spoit onto saves. And you just know at that point that the race is run in terms of that round. And Rogue just looking very, very good on the attack. Like you say, just recognising information, knowing what to do with it straight away and doing it quickly, decisively. It's really something to see. So
I think it's pressure.
It's just like, brilliant.
It's because, like, what do? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't get out on the roam, they're going to hit you on site with all 5 players charging at you. You're going to be in pure chaos and you simply can't react. You get out on the roam, they're just going to cut you off and absolutely slaughter you as you try and get back towards site. Again, pressure is the best word I can think to describe Rogue, or to summarize their team in a nutshell. You are just under constant pressure no matter where you are on the map.
So, last defensive round for Team Secret, round 6, and they are going to head up to the top. Something was itching my brain then, Des, because I knew that there was something that I wanted to raise that I'd seen in that round, and it's just come back to me. Team Secret. So, I want to give them there wasn't a lot of praise to find in the round because Rogue were very good and took them apart. But one thing I do want to praise them, it's something we've been critical of over the last 3-4 months, is the placement of Wamai magnets. How often do we see them put in a position and then you still lose the other gadgetry? Exactly that. Yeah. They're there to protect it, and you still lose it. Yeah. There was a Banshee on rear stage stairs, and there was a magnet that sucked the first nade away from it, and it survived. And it was only a little thing. I want to be fair to Secret. It was just great utility use. It was great gadget placement, and it just allowed them to actually do what it's there to do, to keep the other stuff safe.
I love how you're really happy about that, because a couple of rounds ago I clocked that they'd lost barbed wire for the same reason on Big Tower stairs. So 1 round good, 1 round shy. We'll take it that way and call it all things equal in the end. Hopefully we continue to see more of that as it goes by. Sleben, first one to go down though, with that the C4 in back pocket now off the board as well. Not the end of the world, I'd say, for this round, but still a bit of a stinger, especially trying to play downstairs and looking to use that for the vertical denial later on. You got Savage again. Pressure, Tim. It doesn't matter where you are not safe. You're being droned. You're fearful about being pushed inside a kitchen. And now, like a wild animal, he's trying to find a way out of this cage that has very quickly become something working against him rather than working for him. There is one player looking here out towards Shower's side. Minor concern for Rogue is you've thrown it 2 or 3 times. Now's the time to make a push. Coming from a couple of sides, get the trade if you have to. Pick your man off. And there he goes. He gets Spoit, but immediately Kanto is there for the retrade. Once again, phenomenal team play coming out of Rogue.
Rogue have been great on the trades. Keenan's going to get Deepak, and this time it will not be traded out, though, as he's got himself nice and secure inside a site, and he locks down the top of White Stairs. That could be a big moment for Team Secret here. Kendrew is low health on site, though. Saves is playing underneath on the Azami. His impact from down there is a little bit limited because he doesn't have any explosives that he will be able to play with from underneath, so he's going to have to make a physical challenge face to face onto somebody and use his gun to find a kill. So Saves, for the time being, is going to play underneath, is just going to look to hassle the flanks, but may not be able to have maximum impact from down there later in the round.
Yeah, Kanto's trying to play from below a little bit and just hoping these defenders run over the wrong angle. You got Saves on Zulu, and Kanto knows of his presence. White going to be their go-to push, and the sound of that Banshee is kind of like an alarm being signaled to the rest of Team Secret that it's time to move. Look down below. Here comes Saves, and they had no idea is coming. Completely slaughters the aggressors where they stand, and Crying, the last one left standing, will step up and find himself one. It's him locked into a 1 versus 1 against Kendrew. But Kendrew, he's only on about 30 HP. We know what those LMGs can do. They can rip him to shreds here if he finds his man. But that if is the big part of it here. Does he know that he's tucked just inside of Attic? Because if so, he might be able to find himself a freebie. He's against a shotgun though. Notice the SMG in hand hits him. No shotgun to hand. Sees the man, goes to the spray down. Can't quite find him. It's down to the last bullet. He's on the floor like a rat. But Crying gets the final shot, and Rogue take the half 4-2.
You don't win that fight against an LMG, unfortunately. As soon as Crying knows where he is, he can just hold on to mouse 1, move around. Kendrew did everything he could, tried to change up his position, his posture. He hit the deck, he went prone, but it just wasn't enough. Like you say, I don't know, Des. It'd be interesting to know if he had ammo for the shotgun. It was a little bit of a strange choice to take the SMG at short range like that. I think he was concerned about the potential for being pushed from the bedroom rotate. He didn't know exactly where the challenge was going to come from, so I think that's probably why he's on the SMG, so he can sort of cover that mid-range potential fight as well. But it's easy in hindsight for us to say, you know what, if you've got the shotgun, you probably win that fight, because Crying popped his head round and there was a definite opportunity there for the kill to come in. But ultimately, Rogue managed to squeak through. They managed to win the 1v2 and take the round, but it was interesting to see the double from Saves as well. I'd commented only moments before, there's no explosives, there's nothing he can do unless they allow him onto their flank. That's the only way he's going to get kills here. And Rogue, what do? You let him slip onto your flank and he picks up a big double.
I am watching the live. So for those who don't know, we are on like a 4-minute delay, so no stream sniping. And I'm watching Kendrew's ammo count just drop and drop and drop. He's gone from like 35 rounds down to, at this point, 14, and he's still keeping chewing through it. So I genuinely think he was just out of shotgun ammo from the end of the round.
Maybe out of shotgun, very possibly, yeah. I did wonder, because like I said,
I'm very curious.
It just doesn't seem the angle to hold with the SMG. It's, you know, if you know you're going to be taking that fight on the door. Now then, Crying, he's looking to get aggressive with the Vigil here. He's peeking out, not going to catch anybody. But the Nitro goes out, still won't catch anybody. Spoit getting cheeky, and this is aggressive from Rogue.
Why wouldn't it be? Again, it's just Rogue. It's pressure, pressure, pressure. Whether they're on attack or defense, they'll do this. And I always hark back to their game against G2 in stage 1 on Bank. Great shot coming out from Savage, by the way, to pick one off onto Spoit, a man that you definitely want to shut down. But looking back at the Bank game they had against G2, where G2 were back on site by 1.5 minutes, and that is just too easy for Kanto. Please let me finish my point now. Back about halfway into the round, G2 were always back on site, but Rogue were constantly putting up a front line against G2 and keeping them pressed. On the attack, it was the same. Always looking to try and press into attackers. It doesn't matter what side of the game you're on against Rogue, they are just going to keep on being ridiculously aggressive.
Kanto and Crying deciding it's time to get themselves back down to site. They're going to work as a pair, with Kanto making that process much, much quicker. Keenan up onto the top floor with the Jackal, and what a disruptive lineup they're playing here. We've got the Dokkaebi, we've got the Jackal really trying to hunt down those roamers, but 4v4, half the round wasted. You got to say that Rogue have done their job out in the map. I'm sure they would have liked to have wasted a little bit more time, but it is still not the end of the world. We're going to have the Yokai drones just watching for anybody pushing down Freezer, and they are going to know that that's where some of the pressure may come from, as the hatch has been opened, and Kendrew continues working through, going to clear the other two. He's blocked off by his teammate. Savage just stood in the way on a drone there, so Kendrew has to move around to the opposite side.
That's it. Obviously, the damage here sends the extra information coming in, so maybe you want to get rid of that at some point, or just park it in a spot where it's not really going to help the attack as much. The beauty is here in the Vigil, if they're relying on that hacked information to really help you feed like back and forth on where players are, the Vigil's kind of working against you in a strange way here. So keep an eye on that one, because Crying could be a big spoiler to this party.
Kanto going to take a ton of damage there, down to nearly half health on top of the boxes, and doesn't manage to dish any out in return, but that's a big kill as he dishes out damage onto Kendrew, taking him down with a headshot. 4 versus 3 now as Rogue have themselves an advantage on the defense. Leon's going up, they've no idea. Leon. He sees, he hears, he knows that the man is around the corner, and he gets the kill. Savage manages to take down the half health Kanto, and Sleben finds Crying at the rear, and this round just keeps swinging back and forth like a merry-go-round. It goes around and around. 2v2 now. Diffuser down cold on the ground. Deepak manages to spring the trap, and he finds the kill onto Savage. It's Sleben 1v2. He can't find the first as Deepak shuts him down, and Rogue are going to go 5-2 up.
Fair to say, we expected it to come down to this point when they were just absolutely flying. Rogue, we know, have been performing way better than Secret so far, and this hasn't stopped. Again, that aggression from Rogue, just constantly asking Secret questions that they have not got answers to. By the way, the round ended. Kendu did have about 10 shots left in the shotgun, so I was looking back and seeing what was going on. I imagine probably the game there was aiming for a headshot with the SMG, more bullets. Although, knowing he'd already got a couple of kills in prior rounds with the shotgun from quite a range as well. I remember Spoit inside a bedroom. I'm surprised he didn't go for the shotgun, I won't lie.
As I said, I think it's maybe the little bit of concern of being pushed from, if he's pushed from bedroom rotate, there's a longer angle that can be gained. Maybe he's just, you know, thinking there's the potential for a mid-range engagement here. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So heading up to the top floor, Rogue are going to be defending dorms this time around. If they can get this win, it's going to be the primary and secondary site locked down. It's also going to take them on to match point, and they'll be able to finish things off and get the full 3, which is certainly looking likely at this point because they have been pretty much cruising so far, at least in the rounds that they have won. They've been very much on top of the majority of them. So we're going to have a bit of a presence underneath, as we would expect. Rotation open from kitchen to security. Spoit's heading back upstairs now. So mostly Rogue are positioned upstairs. I'd expect to just have one player down in security when all is said and done.
Yeah, it's, again, just one of those where the pressure, I think, is just too high for Secret. And even stepping up here now, looking at the lineup they're bringing along, I'm like, well, again, it just screams aggression, right? The Jaeger, the Malusi, the Alibi, the Azami, just to frustrate the living hell out of you on the way through as well. Worth noting the Secret have brought along the Nut too, so we are seeing both teams employing that. Again, referencing back to that question of why are more European teams not playing that kind of operator and bringing her along? Well, here's your answer. These two teams at the very least are.
Keenan going to be working through underneath. Aggressive, just as Rogue were in moving across from that side of the map. He is supported by no fewer than 2 other players. Slevin and Saves are with him, both bringing soft destruction operatives. We've got the Buck, we've got the Sledge, we've got an awful lot of soft destruction that's going to be going on. First nade goes off, not going to do any damage to Cryan, who's actually playing this deep inside a kitchen. This could be smart. He's supported by Kanto in security as well. The hard breach opens up a small hole in the wall. There's a nade onto White Stairs. It's not going to have any joy.
Remember last time when Rogue were attacking into this and Savage was completely pinned out, he was being droned, he stood his ground, he got a kill and then got traded? Watch here for the difference, because it looks almost identical to exactly the same when Savage was playing in this room. The difference being Cryan's got some support on the north side here, so Kanto knows that his kitchen side is safe and can put all of his focus in towards showers. So a small difference there, including an extra player, has some support coming in from impact nades as well to open the wall up behind him. So they're giving Kanto more outs here. They're really stacking up more. And look at this. Where the hell is Savage looking? Not the right way, apparently. It's like they had no idea that Cryan was inside a kitchen. Cooks up the first kill, 5v4 for Rogue.
The problem is, Des, that they did know that he was inside a kitchen because the drone had been in there 25 seconds previously. It didn't even get taken out by Cryan. It escaped. He missed his shots onto it, so they definitely know that Cryan's in that area. They can't be giving up the entry like that. Savage taken down. Rogue 5 versus 4. 40 seconds and very little progress for Team Secret here. This is not going to be an easy round to turn over.
Kanto's long gone as well. He dropped through the hatch, ran straight up towards Big Tower. I don't think there's any drones down there. There's no cutoff. So he is as safe as can be, and is now able to come and challenge back from top green. So exactly where Cryan just steps, they're just constantly like weaving patterns across each other. So there's just no predictability to this for Secret. The best thing they've got is to hit sight. And even then, you're coming up against a couple of tough members. Deepek gets one shut down, Leon into another. It's all too easy for Rogue, Tim. They're absolutely shutting them out, and Spoit, he had to get a clip coming out for YouTube there. Easy close down with the pistol. Again, Rogue just making this look easy.
It is at the minute. They're absolutely running away with this. This is turning into a speed run any percent here against Team Secret, as Rogue find themselves now on 6-2.
Round 1, the intent that was there at least. Just little things like that make them a really unpredictable yet fun team to watch. You just know there's going to be aggression. They're not going to sit on drones for half the round, for example. They will make things happen and won't find themselves kind of being pinched up against the clock in the last 10 seconds. Do I have any doubt that's going to change if they make it through to the major? Absolutely. They'll be pressed by some teams and will have to find a new way to make their playstyle work. But this one, at the very least, we're seeing now is so effective in Europe because teams just don't know how to deal with this high-octane pressure.
Certainly don't. We're going to have a meeting attack for Team Secret here. They do have the Ossa on the board. It was something that we spoke about previously. We wondered whether we would see it from Rogue or not, but we didn't. But this is lining up for a textbook rear stage take here. So they're going to head into rear stage with Sleben. They're going to get Keenan to open up the wall with the Kendrew with the Thermite. He'll open up the wall, and then they're going to get the shields down. Try to plant in behind one of them. Use the other to hold the angle from the rear stage stairs area, and just try to play the objective and get it down. Rogue need to have some answer to this. They've only got 3 impacts left on side. They're going to have to use them wisely.
Have the C4 on side, I guess, to play with if they really want it as well. So there's enough tools here, and I don't know if they'll have done their homework and kind of gone, well, are Secret the kind of team to employ an Ossa? Because when I think back to what we've seen of Secret historically, they're not really a big Ossa team. It's not the sort of thing I'd imagine them doing. Admittedly, when I think of any kind of shield-based operator, I immediately jump to thinking about Cyclops and APAC North rather than any specific European team. But knowing back in the day how Kendrew used to love playing things like Monty, we see him play Clash sometimes, I'm not too surprised to see it in their repertoire.
Well played first minute from Team Secret there. We saw the peek coming out of Leon, looking to try and catch somebody over at the rear stage, but he wasn't allowed to. Team Secret were definitely alert to the potential danger, and shots rained into that rear office window before they were able to get any peek onto the man repelling. Kendrew is going to get a nice opener onto Spoit as well. Tight angle that he manages to find that one through, and just down the side of the Kiba barricade. We're going to have the walls starting to get open now, and Team Secret are getting themselves into position well here.
Slightly concerned about how close those magnets are from Kanto, given that's been our theme of keeping an eye on that in the last few months. Just kind of tossed 2 up in towards Attic, and I'm like, yeah, surely if a nade comes through there, both are going to get burnt out and taken away. So one to watch out for. But Secret taking up, I spoke about Cyclops earlier. This is very much a Cyclops-esque kind of take. Open up Attic, get yourself a shield watching up there so no one can come charging at you. Get one down looking through the actual breach doorway itself when it gets opened up. A nade should come over. I was about to say, Leon, what are you doing, buddy? I was going to say a nade definitely follows a hole like that. You want to get rid of the jammer or anything else on the other side, and nearly lost his life for it.
Leon drops down underneath, but Savage is there waiting. Leon's actually managed to wriggle through here, and this could be a problem. If Team Secret think that Savage has this covered and
Surely
Leon
not.
has managed to escape him, then he could really be in amongst it here, and he is! He manages to get the kill onto Kendrew, drops the diffuser. Savage does find Deepek underneath, and Leon gets shut down by Sleben in a trade, and that leaves us 4v2. Team Secret have got away with one there.
I'm always amazed by how often teams manage to get away with that kind of flank, and teams don't always punish it. One man isn't enough. And now Kanto holding the other angle, sees a man step across. Does he win this gunfight in the 1 versus 1? The timing, oh, it's so tight, Tim, but backs away instead. So not going to find his man. Rogue in a 2v3. They can close this out here at 7-2, but it requires a lot from Kanto and Crying.
Diffuser's going down right now. Keenan steps in and starts to put it down. Crying look to pressure onto the flank. The challenge comes in. Sleben with an important kill. It's all up to Kanto, and it's the diffuser down. 3 versus 1. 40 seconds left to go. Kanto has got himself back into sight, but as you can see, Team Secret, they've just dropped away to those post-plant positions now. Lots of angles being held. It's Sleben ultimately from the rear stage door that's going to find the kill. Nice angle held through onto the diffuser. Beautiful shot and a good round for Team Secret. That's backing up their tactical timeout, getting themselves a win, and maybe just starting themselves on the path to a comeback.
The challenge is, Tim, that was the offsite as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've seen supply and laundry a couple of times. We've seen meeting in kitchen now. So back downstairs is where Rogue are going to head to once again. Why wouldn't we? And I'm just concerned that now Rogue are back in kind of the more staple sites. They'll get to go through both top floor and through bottom floor now. Do I see Secret winning both of those rounds? I think it's a real hard and tall order.
Well, we're going to see as we get into round number 10, and it is going to be down into the laundry. Kanto is on the Oryx. This is what we saw last time from the defenders. As I scan my eyes down the roster lineup, we see Crying on the Vigil as well, and those were the 2 operators that caused a particular problem for Team Secret last time around. They got a kill, they escaped back to site, they kept him you know, in a 4v4 at the halfway mark, and it just left Team Secret with too much to do when trying to push onto site. Team Secret really struggled to get themselves any meaningful map control, at least quickly, and that's something they've got to do better here. They've got to go in, they've got the Jackal, they've got the Blitz, they've got to go in here and just get aggressive onto those roamers, but I think the aggression could possibly come directly to sites as they've spawned over on the construction side.
Production, are we sure we haven't got these teams the wrong way round or anything, right?
This is a role play through and through.
This looks like a rogue play, but it also feels like an old school Kavana play as well. In fact, it's looking to line up to be exactly that. Here we come with the burst on through. That means Kendrew charges down towards 90. What can they do about this? They immediately get the Yokai blast coming through, and Leon has escaped. He's managed to get his way back through Tim, and Spoit's found one into saves as well. What looked to be a literal train wreck coming in towards Rogue has turned into a train wreck for Secret.
It's the Yokai drone that just interrupted the push of the Blitz. It allowed Leon to move away. He escaped with half of his life. They lose a man along the way, saves down, and that now leaves Rogue in a good position here, because what do Team Secret have left realistically? You know, the element of surprise is gone. There's no, you know, impact push that they can make here. They now just need to start looking for kills, and they need to start finding them. And the problem is that they're just not seeing anybody on these angles right now.
I love how Leon just like immediately bolted towards site. Thank God for 3-speed alibi, right? And got himself back towards safety whilst Deepet was still harassing the attackers coming in. You know, MVP of the round there, 100% with those Yokais to slow that attack down, disrupt them before anything could really come of it. Now it's just chewing your way through a bunch of drones, and my face is in the way, so I can't see it. They're down to 5. So Secret aren't exactly starved of information, Tim, but like you say, they feel a little bit out of ideas. That's why they're getting back on the drones and burning through 3 or 4 of them. Is they're like, okay, what next? Keenan's going to start things off with a kill.
Finally managing to take down Leon, who you feel should have been dead a long time ago. Kendrew does have an opportunity to potentially try and put this diffuser down. He's just having a look to see if there's any Yokai drones there. I'm not sure that there's sufficient cover in place necessarily, but he is going to give it a try, and he might just get away with it. The Yokai drone goes in, going to stun him out and force him back, and the problem is he can't really just go for a second attempt now, because the Yokai drone's been hidden, but also the call goes. Kendrew's trying to put the diffuser down here, so that's part of the problem now. Rogue are aware. Previously, I think they were just looking on the, you know, possibility that they didn't know exactly what was going on.
Spoit wants to get himself up to deep freeze here with Crying and play for a trade ideally, because by this point, Kendrew's going to be able to stick this, and if this goes down, it's really hard for Rogue to go for the retake. Kanto finding one's great. Crying a second, completely unexpected, has gone behind them. Where are you looking, Kendrew? There's one man left on stairs, and they know exactly where he is. In comes the closing kill. Rogue with a decisive 7-3 over Secret. They'll stick the defuse, and their terrain, or their rampage, to EUL's a better word, is going to continue long after Playday 3.
A 7-3 finish for Rogue in a result that, to be honest, never looked in doubt. There was solid throughout. Team Secret just didn't have the answers. There was elements of play from Team Secret where you can sort of feel like maybe it was improving a little.